Beneath the surface of our oceans lies a world so vast, so alien, that we've explored less of it than we have the surface of the moon. The deep sea begins where sunlight disappears, an endless black void stretching down for miles. It is silent, crushing, and hostile to life. Yet, against all odds, this hidden world is alive. Creatures beyond imagination drift through the darkness, each one stranger and more terrifying than the last. For centuries, sailors whispered about monsters lurking beneath the waves, giant serpents, glowing demons, shadowy beasts waiting to drag ships into the abyss. Today, we know many of those legends were rooted in truth. The ocean does hide monsters, only they are not of fantasy. They are real, and they are far more bizarre than anyone could have imagined. This is not just another frontier. This is Earth's final underworld, a place where pressure can crush steel, where temperatures freeze bone, and where life has evolved in ways that defy reason. In the next few minutes, we'll descend into this abyss together. And what we find in the dark may leave you questioning whether we truly belong on the surface at all. At first glance, the frilled shark doesn't look real. It looks ancient, like something pulled from a fossil rather than a living ocean. And in many ways, it is. Often called a living fossil, the frilled shark has changed very little for millions of years. It prowls the deep at depths where sunlight never reaches, and spotting one alive is so rare that every recorded encounter feels like stepping back in time. Its body is long and eel-like, with 6 pairs of gill slits that flare open like a frill, giving the creature its eerie name. But what makes it truly terrifying is its mouth. Inside are 300 teeth, arranged in rows like jagged needles, pointing inward to trap anything unlucky enough to wander too close. Imagine a shark's bite designed not just to cut, but to snare, ensuring prey can only move one direction, deeper into the jaws. The frilled shark doesn't hunt like the great whites or hammerheads we know from the surface. Instead, it lurks, moving with a slow, serpentine motion, waiting until it can strike with shocking speed. Its diet includes squid, smaller sharks, and deep-sea fish, all swallowed whole in sudden lunges from the darkness. Some scientists believe it can even bend its body like a coiled spring, launching itself forward like a snake to ambush prey. Yet despite its monstrous appearance, this shark is elusive. It spends its life between 500 and 4,000 feet below, in the crushing pressure of the ocean's twilight and midnight zones. Rarely seen by humans, it has earned a reputation as one of the ocean's most mysterious predators. When one does rise closer to the surface, usually sick or dying, it looks out of place, as though it belongs to another era entirely. And in a way, it does. The frilled shark has been patrolling the deep for over 80 million years. It swam alongside dinosaurs, survived mass extinctions, and still thrives in waters that remain hostile to most forms of life. To see it alive is to glimpse a piece of prehistory that refuses to vanish. The frilled shark is not a monster from imagination. It is real, and it is a reminder that the deep sea is not just strange, it is timeless. In the crushing blackness of the deep sea, where sunlight has never touched, lives one of the most unusual and enchanting creatures of the ocean, the Dumbo octopus. Unlike the fearsome predators that lurk in these depths, the Dumbo octopus is a quiet wonder, drifting through the water with movements so gentle, they almost seem otherworldly. Its name comes from the 2 fins that extend from its head, resembling the floppy ears of Disney's Dumbo. With those delicate fins, it flies through the water, gracefully flapping as if suspended in slow motion. There is nothing hurried about its movements, nothing aggressive. Instead, it floats serenely, a soft silhouette in a world of endless dark. The Dumbo octopus lives deeper than nearly any other known octopus, often found more than 13,000 feet below the surface. At those depths, where pressure is immense and the water near freezing, survival requires a special kind of adaptation. Unlike most octopuses, the Dumbo doesn't have an ink sac. There is no point in releasing ink where light doesn't exist. Instead, its defense is simple: stay unnoticed, drifting like a ghost. Its diet is as quiet as its nature. The Dumbo octopus feeds on tiny crustaceans, worms, and other small creatures that float along the seafloor. It does not chase its prey. It simply hovers above, then envelops its meal in its webbed arms, swallowing it whole in one calm, efficient motion. There is no spectacle, no chase, only stillness and patience. For predators, the Dumbo octopus itself is vulnerable. Larger fish and deep-sea sharks would not hesitate to devour it. Yet, its soft body and graceful, slow swimming make it almost unnoticeable in the endless dark, like a shadow gliding through a world that rarely sees life at all. Perhaps most fascinating is its rarity. Encounters with Dumbo octopuses are so uncommon that each one feels like a discovery. They remind us that even in places we think are empty, beauty and life still exist. In a realm dominated by sharp teeth and brutal survival, the Dumbo octopus stands apart, fragile, gentle, and strangely comforting. It is a reminder that not every creature of the deep is monstrous. Some, like the Dumbo octopus, belong more to a dream than a nightmare. In the eternal night of the deep sea lives a creature with a name that sounds like it belongs in a horror story, the vampire squid. But despite its fearsome title, this animal is far from a monster. In truth, the vampire squid is one of the ocean's most misunderstood wonders. Its scientific name, Vampiroteuthis infernalis, literally translates to vampire squid from hell. At first glance, it's easy to see why early scientists chose such a dramatic name. Its body is cloaked in a dark red or blackish hue. Its arms are lined with small spines, and when threatened, it can pull those arms over itself like a cape, creating the image of a sinister shadow. Yet for all the fear its name inspires, the vampire squid is not a predator. It doesn't even hunt like most squid. Instead, it survives on what scientists call marine snow, a delicate rain of dead plankton, decaying matter, and tiny particles that drift endlessly down from the ocean surface. The vampire squid extends two long, sticky filaments, similar to fishing lines, out into the water, capturing this debris. Once enough particles are caught, the squid draws them back to its mouth, slowly consuming the ocean's leftovers. In this way, it is less a vampire and more a recycler, keeping life flowing in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Living at depths between 2,000 and 3,000 feet, where oxygen levels are extremely low, the vampire squid has evolved to endure conditions that would kill most animals. Its metabolism is remarkably slow, allowing it to survive on very little energy. It doesn't need to chase prey or fight. Instead, it simply drifts, waiting patiently for the sea to deliver its meals. For protection, the vampire squid relies on light. It is covered with tiny organs called photophores, which can produce glowing displays in the darkness. When threatened, it releases a cloud, not of ink, but of bioluminescent mucus that sparkles with blue light. This glowing distraction gives the vampire squid time to vanish into the blackness, a ghost disappearing before the eyes of its predator. Despite its eerie appearance, the vampire squid is a creature of elegance and survival. It thrives not by violence, but by patience, feeding on the sea's forgotten remains. In the silence of the deep, where death and decay are constant, the vampire squid has found a way to make life from what is left behind. Few creatures of the deep have captured the public's imagination quite like the blobfish. With its drooping face, gelatinous body, and perpetually frowning expression, the blobfish has often been labeled the world's ugliest animal. But this unflattering title is more a misunderstanding than a truth. In its natural habitat, thousands of feet beneath the ocean's surface, the blobfish looks nothing like the pictures we've all seen. At depths of 2,000 to 4,000 feet, where pressure is more than 100 times what we experience at sea level, the blobfish's body is perfectly adapted. Unlike most fish, it doesn't have a swim bladder, a gas-filled organ that helps fish control their buoyancy. At such extreme depths, a swim bladder would collapse. Instead, the blobfish is made of a jelly-like tissue slightly less dense than water, which allows it to float effortlessly above the seafloor without expending energy. This design makes the blobfish a master of survival in its environment. It doesn't chase prey or use speed to hunt. Instead, it waits. As crabs, sea urchins, and small invertebrates move along the seafloor, the blobfish simply opens its mouth and swallows them whole. Its feeding style is one of patience and energy conservation, a strategy that has allowed it to endure in one of the most unforgiving places on Earth. The famous ugly photos of the blobfish were taken after it was pulled from its deep-sea home to the surface. Without the crushing pressure of the depths to hold its body together, its gelatinous form collapses into the saggy, drooping appearance we recognize. In truth, in the depths where it belongs, the blobfish is streamlined, quiet, and well-suited to the silent world around it. Predators of the blobfish are rare, largely because it lives in regions few creatures can withstand. Its greatest threat has come not from natural enemies, but from humans. Deep-sea trawling often drags blobfish up accidentally, leading to their deaths and the spread of their distorted image. Yet, if we look past the jokes and memes, the blobfish reveals a vital lesson. Survival in the deep is not about beauty or speed. It is about adaptation. This strange, gelatinous creature has endured for millions of years, perfectly tuned to an environment that would crush nearly every other life form on Earth. In the twilight world of the deep ocean, where sunlight never penetrates, one fish has developed a truly otherworldly adaptation: the barrel-eye fish. At first glance, it looks like something from a science fiction film: a small, torpedo-shaped body, a set of tiny fins, and most striking of all, a transparent dome covering its head. Inside this clear shield, two bright green barrel-shaped eyes point upward like twin telescopes, peering through the water above. These upward-facing eyes are designed for one purpose: spotting faint silhouettes in the darkness. When prey drifts by, small jellyfish, plankton, or other gelatinous creatures, the barrel-eye can detect them against the dim glow of the water. Its eyes are incredibly sensitive, capable of picking up the smallest traces of light in a world where almost none exists. For many years, scientists believed these eyes were fixed in place, always pointing upward. But research later revealed a stunning discovery. The barrel-eye can rotate its eyes inside the transparent shield, shifting them forward when it wants to feed. This means the fish can spot prey above, then swivel its gaze to face directly ahead as it carefully maneuvers to capture a meal. The transparent dome itself provides protection. It shields the sensitive eyes from the stinging cells of siphonophores, long jellyfish-like predators that drift through the deep sea. Interestingly, barrel-eye fish are thought to steal food from these siphonophores, carefully plucking captured prey out of their tentacles without getting stung, thanks to their protective head covering. Unlike fast predators, the barrel-eye is not built for speed. It uses its large, flat fins to hover almost motionlessly in the water, conserving energy while scanning the darkness. This slow, deliberate movement allows it to survive in an environment where food is scarce, and every meal must be carefully earned. As for predators, little is known. Living at depths of 2,000 to 2,600 feet makes the barrel-eye relatively safe, though larger deep-sea hunters may pose a threat. Its best defense is its stillness and ability to vanish into the vast darkness. The barrel-eye fish is a reminder of the extraordinary ingenuity of evolution. In the crushing silence of the deep, where light itself is a rare treasure, this strange, glass-headed creature thrives, an alien of our own planet's oceans. The deep sea remains one of Earth's last great mysteries, a realm filled with creatures so bizarre they seem almost unreal. From the ancient frilled shark to the ghostly Dumbo octopus, the eerie vampire squid, the strange blobfish, and the transparent-headed barrel-eye fish, each tells a story of survival in darkness. And yet, these are only a handful of the countless species dwelling in the abyss. For every discovery made, many more remain hidden, waiting to be found. The deep ocean reminds us how little we truly know about our planet, and how much wonder still lies beneath the waves.